There's no denying that Jumanji is a movie made simply to be enjoyed. But anytime a story resonates with us, engages us, makes us feel, there's probably something to be learned. So let's dive a little deeper, shall we? The first Jumanji was a huge success, and the second one is set up to be quite successful as well. So what is it that makes the Jumanji movies work? Well, for any story to be compelling, there needs to be character growth. A character needs to change from one state to a different, typically better, state. And that character growth has to be believable. If it's not believable growth, if it feels ham-handed, then the audience tunes out. And audiences aren't tuning out to the Jumanji movies.
Welcome to Jumanji!
People come for the laughs, but they stay engaged for the believable character growth every time. So why does this crazy sounding Jumanji scenario work to produce believable character growth?
What is this game?
Well, the film actually sets this up quite well. In the first Jumanji, there are 4 characters. 2 of them are insecure and shy in real life. 2 of them seem confident and bold in real life. Unwittingly, the confident characters end up in the bodies that make them feel insecure, and the insecure characters end up in bodies that make them feel more confident. This not only provides comedy,
I'm an overweight middle-aged man.
It also puts the characters into the situations in which they have the most room to grow. Sometimes people who seem confident only seem that way because they stay in their comfort zone. This comfort zone can become a cage and can actually create hidden insecurity. When you feel like you're only good for one thing, only valued for one thing, you are bound to that thing, unwilling to try anything new, grow, or change for fear of looking like a fool and losing your value. When these confident-seeming characters are thrust into bodies that are unable to do the things the characters usually rely on for their confidence, they're forced to figure out what else they can bring to the table, forced to grow. Imagine if Fridge ended up in The Rock's body. He would have gone from being the tall, handsome jock to being the tall, handsome Rock. No room to grow and develop. He would have still been in his comfort zone. If Bethany were forced into Karen Gillan's body, she would have gone from being the pretty one to being the pretty one. But because she ended up in Jack Black's body, she had the opportunity to learn what else she brings to the table.
Guys, who's good at staring and not blinking?
I'm amazing at it.
The insecure characters are thrust into confident bodies and into situations that require them to be confident. But they are still their insecure selves on the inside.
Don't cry, don't cry. Don't cry, it's gonna be okay.
The movie kind of asks these characters the question, what if you suddenly had the perceived status and strength of a leader or a killer of men? Could you rise to the role and choose to be brave and do what needs to be done? For these 2 characters, the answer was yes. And I think it's believable that they rise to the occasion because there is a similar truth in reality. People don't usually feel ready to lead. They are scared and unprepared people just like everyone else. They have to rise to the role and learn on the job, and sometimes it takes seeing ourselves be successful in a role to develop the confidence we thought the role required in the first place. The characters had to choose to act confidently before they truly had any basis for that confidence. And as they saw themselves act confident, that basis for confidence developed, and it started to come more naturally. So if the meaning we can draw from the first Jumanji is that characters grow when placed outside their comfort zone, the meaning we get from the second Jumanji is actually kind of the opposite, but not in a counterproductive way.
This is a whole new thing. Nobody told us we had to do a whole new thing.
Let me explain. The second Jumanji gives the message that sometimes you actually need to stay within your comfort zone to maximize your effectiveness. When the characters are down to their final lives and the stakes become real, Fridge gets up and explains how basically no one is growing into their characters this time. Grandpa Eddie makes a terrible gravestone.
Are we in Florida?
Milo talks so slow he gets everyone killed.
Did I die and turn into some kind of a small, muscular Boy Scout?
And Bethany is a horse.
Where is Bethany?
She's right here.
Not to mention, Spencer's avatar is the embodiment of all his internal insecurities. This time, being outside their comfort zone isn't working. The characters aren't growing into their new roles. But the characters have discovered they have the ability to switch avatars in the game. So when the cards are down, they rise to the occasion in this movie, not by learning new roles, but by embracing their familiar ones.
Yes, I'm back. I missed you so much. Oh my God, you guys, hi.
Bethany?
You guys, we're back in Jumanji.
They change to the avatars they became familiar with the last time around, and they grow and succeed by capitalizing on the things they are already good at. Rather than learning something new, they tilt the odds in their favor by doing something they already know how to do. So how are these messages not counterproductive? How can it be true that we grow going outside of our comfort zone and by embracing and utilizing our existing strengths? Well, I don't know all that much about the theology behind the yin-yang symbol, but from my understanding, one side represents chaos and the other side represents order, the known and the unknown. If I understand it right, the idea is that we have the most opportunity for growth when we walk the line between the two sides, with one foot in the safety and security of the known and the other foot stepping into the unknown. If we stay fully in the known, we never have an opportunity to learn something new or for chance to work in our favor. If we venture too far into the unknown, we can easily become stressed and lost, in over our heads with no safety net. The correct answer is a balance of both. To be neither afraid of embracing the unknown or leaning into the known.